The Disney news is on its way.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
We shine the light inside the park. Lights and laughter every ride.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas.
Past with news so clear. The Monorail Report is here. Jump aboard and feel the cheer. The Monorail Report is here. The Monorail Report is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain behind the yellow line on the platform or behind the gates once you disembark the monorail.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 2nd. Happy October. Getting a little chilly here. Got to put a jacket on most of the time in the morning. Up here in North Carolina, not the same effect down in Orlando where the parks are, or out in Anaheim where Disneyland is, but here it does get a little chilly in the morning. Good morning to Berry Place out there on the West Coast, our Disneyland streamer. Your next stream is, excuse me, Sunday, if I remember correctly. Titi Doreen, good morning. Good to see you. So yeah, we got a lot of streams happening this weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend. I was just watching Theme Park Giant for a little bit. He's out at SeaWorld, which is a park we don't normally get to see a lot. And he is bracing for a little bit of weather there. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad out there. But a lot of the streamers out there are worried about rain coming in today. Thank you. Happy almost birthday. Yes, my birthday is tomorrow. So you can see I got balloons the other day during the podcast. Catherine and Finley surprised me with a little bit. So that was very nice of them. All right, so let's get started with the news. We already covered the weather. So we'll cover a little bit of news. So Dinosaur, we know, is closing here in I say here like I'm actually in Florida. Is closing in Disney World February 2nd, and they actually changed and updated the ride photo, which we thought was kind of interesting that you would change the ride photo right here at the end of the ride's life. But then again, it makes for a nice memento that you were there right at the end. You got to celebrate Dinosaur right before it ended. So kind of interesting that they did that. We did not get this version, and I don't think we will get to ride it before it closes. Maybe there's a chance we do get back there before it closes. Dame Dystopia, good to see you. Berry Place, thank you. Spencer, good to see you. All right, so there are new Lego Disney Classic animation scene sets coming out. They are out this month and are said to be free with a purchase of $130 or more. I saw these and was really excited about them. These are little kind of small sets. I have one that's about that size. Let's see if I go back on camera, you might be able to see it. But I'm excited about this. I think that, let's see. So if they're free with purchase, they're probably going to be about this size. This is my little Grogu that we got. This was a make and take from the Lego store. If you see those, if you have a Lego store near you, they do those from time to time, and they're free. The make and take, you just make them right at the store. and take them with you. Then it doesn't cost you anything, but it's kind of cool. They give you all the pieces to make that. So I think this is going to be about that size. I'm excited. Of course, I have an insider in the Lego store. So as soon as I know more, you'll know more. All right. If you thought Loungeflies were small, they've gotten even smaller. Check these out. These are keychains, princess backpack keychains, which they're pretty cool. Obviously, you can see they are themed to the different princesses. Loungefly is going to make some money. I don't know. I didn't have a price on those, but it's interesting. So I saw this and I thought we should bring this up. So Disney is addressing food insecurity in Florida in a couple different ways. So they take excess food from Disney theme parks and resorts and they donate it to local nonprofits. There are over 420 locations across Disney World collecting food for Disney Harvest. And this goes to support 9 nonprofits in Central Florida. There are 3,500 hours put in by Disney volunteers, and a total of $115,000 was donated to Second Harvest through Disney volunteers grants, as well as Disney employee matching gifts in 2024. And over 7,000 food items were donated to Second Harvest. So I can tell you, go look in your pantry for cans that can of beans that you're probably not going to eat. If it is not expired, get it to a food bank, your local food pantry or food bank. I have served with a couple of companies that I worked for, a couple retailers that I worked for. I served in some of the food banks around here and food pantries, and that work goes a long way. So if you can serve at one of your local food banks or food pantries, absolutely do that, please. If you can't and you can donate to one of them, absolutely do that. In fact, my local library has a food pantry set up. So you never know. Obviously, a lot of churches do that as well. They'll have food pantries. So just thought I would share some of that good news that Disney's doing. And that's stuff that they don't really talk about a lot. Yeah, Titi Doreen cooks for the homeless there in Richmond quite often, actually. And it's something that she really likes to do. I enjoyed serving my community in that way. I served with the Durham Rescue Mission a couple times. In fact, they had so they do backpack buddies where they give out backpacks to kids that need with full of school supplies to start the school year. They also have a women's shelter, and a lot of the women there are trying to get their GEDs. And so one of the other companies that I worked for, we would go and help them out every 2 weeks, I think it was, while they were studying, practicing tests and stuff like that. We would go and help support them. And so they would ask us questions that had to do with the tests. So it was kind of fun, kind of tutoring, I guess, but in a way that you felt you were giving back. So listen, if you can go out and do something to help your community, I absolutely support that. Go out and help Habitat for Humanity. You don't have to know how to hang trusses and drywall to go support Habitat for Humanity. You can pick up a paintbrush and paint. You can pick up a hammer and nail in some baseboard. You can help make soft. It's an inside joke between Titi Doreen and I. So just go out there and volunteer if you can. Every bit of that is appreciated. So we're a little early, right? We're just starting October, but certainly starting to think about the holiday season. And there is a Disney Muppet Christmas Carol advent calendar coming out. Actually, no, it's available now at the Disney Store online. It is $159, but it includes 12 mini plushes. I think that's pretty adorable there. So if that is your thing, go ahead and grab that. Sarah Dash, hello. Tony Otara, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Titi Doreen says there are so many in need. Do what you can. Absolutely. Just a little bit goes a long way for sure. Speaking of the season, 31 Nights of Halloween on Freeform. We know they do this every year. Folks really love this. So Hotel Transylvania looks like it's tonight. Monsters Inc. is tomorrow. You got Hocus Pocus coming up, The Addams Family, Edward Scissorhands. You got just a ton of great movies and specials for the Halloween season. They do this every year. We will make sure to catch some of these this year. Addams Family, great series of movies there, I think are really funny. Do I see Casper? Yep, I see Casper. Yeah, on the 25th. And then on the 31st, they're doing Nightmare Before Christmas, Casper, and Hocus Pocus. Oh, a double feature of Hocus Pocus. So, yeah, make sure to check those out. So yesterday was a big day around Disney, the Disney company. It was Julie Andrews' 90th birthday yesterday. And Dick Van Dyke is 99. So these two legends are just amazing in what they've contributed to Disney and to movies and television, honestly, between the both of them. So yeah, she turned 90 yesterday. And speaking of Mary Poppins and Bert, you can actually now meet them in Hollywood Studios. They are in the My Disney Experience app as meet and greet characters, along with Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket. This just dropped kind of out of nowhere and started this week. And here's my feeling. I could be wrong, but I think that this is a little tease of what we're going to get with Hollywood Studios. I think that the revamp of Animation Courtyard and Star Wars Launch Bay is just the beginning of this. I think that you're going to see more Disney characters walking around. And honestly, it's not like it doesn't happen, right? It does happen in that park. It happens in Star Wars or in Galaxy's Edge. You get Star Wars characters walking around, but you don't get it in the rest of the park. So if this is going to happen where you're going to have more meet and greets that are actually in the app to meet them, I think it's great. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Hollywood Studios, as I'm going to be calling it. So here's your newest poster for Zootopia 2. This is the international poster. You can tell because it's not in English, but you can also tell because right here next to me, it says Zootropolis, which I think is kind of interesting that it's called Zootropolis outside of the US. But I wonder why that is. I guess Zootopia doesn't mean the same thing as Zootropolis. You know, they probably have more of an understanding of a metropolis than what Zootopia would mean. So anyway, Zootopia coming out this year. Very excited for that, and for the new show at Animal Kingdom, which we will be getting very soon. I'm excited to see what they do with that. Disney World released a special offer for spring of 2026, where you can save up to $250 per night on a 4-night, 4-day, or longer stay at select resorts. If you already have a stay booked during this time, make sure to check what the rate is, because they will refund you the difference. If you don't have a vacation booked, go and check it out. You can do this yourself on Disney's website, or speak to a travel agent. If you need a referral, we have a couple that we have worked with that we can recommend. You also don't have to buy tickets to get the discount. So they are also offering special room-only resort stays, which works very well for people like myself who are an annual pass holder and don't need tickets. And so from the January 4th through February 19th, guests can stay at a Disney resort, save up to 20% on the rooms. Most stays Sunday through Thursday nights. Obviously, it's going to be when you're going to save the most money. And you can also save 25% on rooms from February 22nd through April 30th. And I think that I checked it. I think the annual pass rate is 30%, up to 30%. So if you're thinking of planning a trip, go ahead and look into it. I will say this. The rooms are, it'll feel like, if you wait until January and February to try and book this, you'll be like, well, they raised the rates. No, they didn't raise the rates, but there's less rooms available at that point at the discounted rate. So there's only a certain amount of rooms that they put out at the discounted rate. So if you're thinking of going to Disney in early 2026, start looking now, book your hotel now. And I believe with the vacation packages, I'm not a travel agent, not yet. But I believe with the vacation packages, you only have to put down a deposit. So that will also help you. So make sure to do that if you're thinking of going to Disney. All right. It's Halloween month. I've got to get my Halloween decor. Maybe we'll do that this weekend. Put out my Madame Leota inflatable that people love to take pictures with. And True Moo, the milk company, has released an orange cream flavoring in this limited edition Hocus Pocus themed milk. Those of you that love the blue and green milk over in Galaxy's Edge, this might be your thing. I, funny enough, am not a milk drinker, but I love chocolate milk. But it also has to be the right type of chocolate milk. So I don't just pick up any brand of chocolate milk. So if you like orange flavored drinks, there you go. So speaking of, to go back to October 1st, yes, it's Julie Andrews' birthday, but it's the birthday of my favorite place. Epcot is 43. In fact, you can see over my head the poster from the 40th anniversary. That there was another picture really that felt very 80s to me, but when I look at this picture, this is very much 80s. But could you imagine being there for that park? Think about it. There was no social media. Facebook didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist. Live streaming didn't exist. This was the 80s. Like, to the right of Spaceship Earth there, the store is called the Camera Center. Or is it to the left? I can't remember. But one of them is Pin Traders, the other one is Camera Center. That's where you went to buy your flash bulbs. That's where you went to buy your 110 and 126 and was it the disc film? Doreen, I think, had the disc camera. I think she was the only one I knew that had the disc camera. Or your Polaroid film, or the Kodak version. I think it was Instamatic, I think. So, I mean, you're getting there, and there were no YouTube previews. There was no Disney media, right? So this was an event, like, you showed up for opening day and you, just like everybody else, had no idea what to expect. I could only imagine. I think there were only 9 countries open in the World Showcase at that point. There were a couple rides. I'm forgetting now which ones, but I know there were a couple rides that came later. I think Horizons, if I remember correctly, didn't open that day, and maybe the Seas. I think the Seas wasn't finished also. But I mean, it just this was the future. Like, you went. This is, Epcot 80s, or 80s Epcot, to me, was, I imagine, what it felt like going to a World's Fair in the 60s in New York, or 39. You got there and it was like so far in it. This is where the first video call was made, basically. Although you were just going from one side of the room to the other, that was, hey, we do that now, right? Catherine will FaceTime me from upstairs to show me something. But this was it, man. This was, I would have loved to have been there. What year? Titi Doreen probably remembers, because I always forget the year. I want to say it was 83, but that doesn't make sense that I went. So it must have been like 85 that we went. It was amazing as a kid to go. Just saying. It's still amazing now. It's my favorite park of the 4 parks. Because I was a big tech nerd as a kid. Math was one of my I liked math and I liked history. So getting on Spaceship Earth and seeing all those animatronics and all that kind of stuff. I also thought it was crazy that you were inside, that there's a ride inside that this big ball. There's a ride inside of it. Excuse me, which sadly is closed right now for its big refurb, but hopefully it will be opening later this year. Yeah, definitely as an adult, it's amazing to go as well. I mean, I still like, and I think I also like that Finley loves Spaceship Earth. It's her favorite ride. And she loves going on it. She loves going on it with new people. It's just, Epcot's a great place. So, I mean, without Magic Kingdom, you would I was told there would be no why I know that line and I can't think of where it's from. Oh my goodness. Anyway, put it in chat because I won't remember it. Where it's from. And I feel like it was Chevy Chase saying it. Oh my goodness. My head's just pounding now trying to figure it out. Anyway, without Disney World and Magic Kingdom, there would be no Epcot, right? So here's a picture from October 1st, 1971 of the opening day of Magic Kingdom. And I could, at least for these cast members, they kind of knew what to expect because you had Disneyland that had already been open for, what, 16 years at that point. So you kind of have a feeling for what it was going to be. But again, without social media and the hype that builds around it, you really don't know. I think it's interesting to look at the characters in the front, right? So you still have Pinocchio, which from what I can tell from this picture looks very similar. Probably Pluto looks a little similar. Eeyore to an extent, but Winnie the Pooh has changed over the years. And certainly Mickey and Minnie have changed their look over the years. Oh, quite a bit. I don't believe that they blinked back then. I don't think so. But yeah, I remember as a kid this version of Mickey and Minnie. In Disneyland, they had some interesting versions of the characters earlier on than we did here. But of course, we had the orange bird. I've seen pictures of that. We showed them on that podcast actually in the first season. That thing was creepy. That thing was creepy. So yeah, it just it's amazing what this place has done for my life. I mean, I'm talking to all of you right now because of Disney, and my love for Disney. So it's just it's a great place to be. So when people ask me why I always go to Disney, this is why. So we are counting down to our first Disney cruise. So looking forward to that. That is in about 20 days. All right, so let's do some network updates. So right now, Disney Streamer Network, we've got 192 followers on Facebook, 135 on Instagram, 40 on TikTok, 40 on Threads, and 35 on the YouTube channel. So if you're on any of those, make sure to follow us. We are trying to put out a lot of content, both on the news side, on the entertainment side, keeping you up to date on breaking news, as well as have some fun, right? So like the Facebook page will keep up to date with Dr. Disney news that I shared here today, but we'll also do some fun stuff and keep you up to date on all the latest from the streamers. And so speaking of that, now I apologize, the graphic is not the way I really want it to look, but next time I do an update, it'll look different. But look at the growth since I last did these updates. Resort TV 1 gained 2,000 followers, now at 210,000 followers. Park Pass TV, another 3,000 followers, now at 70,000. Pete McDevitt with 3,000 extra followers. He's now over 40,000 subscribers. And a lot of that came yesterday, it seemed like. He had a baseball stream. He's, of course, streams sports, especially football and baseball. And so right now, there's the playoffs. And he was streaming the wild card game, the Guardians game. And I looked over, I had him running on that screen over there. I looked over and he had 1,500 people watching. It was absolutely insane. So great job for him. Mouse Talk now at 26,000 plus subscribers. Living in Diz 18.5. Berry Place, who was in the chat, 15,000 last time I did this update, now at 23,000. I want to say he's our largest jump. Yeah, because I think Mouse Talk is at, yeah, I think he's our largest increase there. Just unbelievable what these creators are doing. Couple of, additional there. You've got Disney Magic and Mayhem up to 3.8K. Cruise and Theme Park Guide up to 3.8K. Theme Park Giant, who's out there every Monday through Friday in the parks, went from 2K to 3.1. I'm sure he's at 3.1 now because he's live right now at SeaWorld. Again, not a park you get to see very often. Lily's Life jumps over the 2,000 mark, now at 2.07. Just out there doing some fun stuff. Lily is just an absolute blessing. Her napkin that she gives away is right above my shoulder. A Bouncing Journey was at the Halloween party last week. Score Jason, or this week, I'm sorry, she was there Tuesday. Score Jason jumps from 1.3 to 3.1. Again, he's out there multiple days a week. All Aboard with Blake travels from St. Louis to the parks to stream when he gets there. Murray's Adventures, good to see you. You're coming up on the next screen there. Magic Adventures jumped from 1.1 to 1.65. Oh, speak of the devil, there they are. Jumps from 1.1 to 1.65 as they're now back in the parks after having to take a little bit of a hiatus. So they are excited to get out there 3 times a week and bring you all the magic. And they do stuff that's a little bit different. So they show you how to get around the parks, but then they also did meeting secret characters. So that's where we met Mary Poppins. Was that yesterday? There's Blake. And then they do the dog day the other day, trying to see how many dogs they could see in Magic Kingdom. So they're bringing some different content, and I like that. Christy PH Disney out in Disneyland, now at 1.28. Disney with Sean, if you are an early riser, follow Disney with Sean. He's normally at the parks very early, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and doing a great job. He is in the middle of a 121-day challenge. I think he's at like day 22, 23, something like that. And he's jumped up all the way to 693 subscribers. He's our newest channel. And when I had him, when I found him, I want to say he was at 89 subscribers or something like that. So he's been consistent. And so he's had a huge following. Murray Adventures, who we saw in the chat, they are streaming from Disneyland Paris, now with 269 subscribers. So if you want to see Disneyland Paris, check out Murray's Adventures. Doing great work out there. Again, a newer channel, starting to get his feet under him and getting ready to take off. And Pile Adventures, who's the brains behind the multi-view that we can all see. That's dsn.disneystreams.com. You can go there and watch multiple streamers at one time. He has Sean is over 1K. Yeah, Pyle, who is in he lives in Tennessee. He is out there this week in the parks and sharing his family vacation with us. And so he's picked up some subscribers, but it was really his idea to create the multi-view. And it was really, he only wanted to create it for himself. And then, he put it out there to the world. And no, Disney with Sean is at 704 now. And Dame says she's waiting for the 927 to pass. I know they're going to pass you. Dame, I'm going to start putting you on this list so we can follow where your numbers are at. But yeah, just make sure to follow our good folks. Check them out. Go to dsn.disneystreams.com. It'll be hard pressed for you to find a time when there isn't one of these channels on. So if you go to dsn.disneystreams.com, you can see who's on. So for example, when Murray is in Disneyland Paris, he starts at 5 a.m. on East Coast time. And then you might have people in Disneyland that run to, midnight their time, which is 3 o'clock our time. So you're getting Disney 22 hours a day. 22 hours a day by watching dsn.disneystreams.com. So make sure to check that out. We'll have some more updates to that website. The latest one was that you can like the stream right from that window, which is very cool. You can now chat. If you're a moderator, you can mod right from that website, which is very cool. So you could moderate for multiple channels at one time. So David Pyle is doing a lot of good work. So I appreciate him and everything that he does for the network. So that's all I got today. I don't have the clickbait segment this week because I wanted to spend a lot of time talking about Epcot and Magic for their holidays, or their anniversaries, I should say. I'm excited to see, I see what Disneyland did for its 70th. So I'm excited to see what Disney World does for its 60th, which is years away, I know, but it has me excited. So can I drop the link for the DSN? Yes, good idea. I normally have it pre-programmed, but for some reason I didn't have that in today. So make sure to go to dsn.disneystreams.com. Check that out, because that's the best place to watch all of... I'll give you an example. Tonight at 9 o'clock, you're going to have somebody at Disneyland just getting started. But in Disney World, in Disney World, you have Luminous starting at Epcot. Happily Ever After starting at Magic Kingdom. Maybe you have Fantasmic at 9 o'clock. You could watch all those. You could watch all of those at one time on one screen and keep an eye on it. The other cool thing is, say it's 7 o'clock East Coast. You could have DSN up, and somebody might be getting on a ride, and that's the person that you're normally watching. And maybe they're just walking through a park, but then you have another creator who's about to get on a different ride. You could consistently watch ride to ride to ride, all by watching the one screen. And multiple. You could do park hopping right there in one stream and not have to go anywhere. So make sure to check that out. And we are working on the streamer games, which is going to be coming to the website very soon. Very excited about that. So we're putting that together. All right, folks, it has been a great morning. Thank you all for joining, and we will be back next week with more news updates and more network updates for all of you. So go out there, make it a great Disney day, and I will see you soon. Oh, don't forget, this Saturday morning, I will be live on my channel for NC Disneyana, which is the pin trading event. Not that I am very much into pins, but I will take a look at the pins, but the merch and some of the events that are happening there as well. So make sure to check that out. And then the following week, I will be, I think, probably next Friday, I'm going to be going live from the State Fair here in North Carolina. So check that out. I might do 2 days of it because fair's pretty big. And you have a lot of, pumpkin and crafting and all sorts of textile, and there's all sorts of stuff to look at besides just the crazy rides. And we have fireworks. So make sure to tune into that next week. But Saturday, again, I'll be live from NC Disneyana here in Durham. All right. Thank you. Think the Doreen says have a happy birthday. Thank you very much. That is tomorrow. All right, folks. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.